So today I'm going to be recording the first Helldivers 2 video I've done in quite a while, and that is because I am sick of waiting. I've wanted to do a video on the Lumberer exosuit ever since the warbond came out, and it has been over a month since then. And the Lumberer has still not been fixed, because if you don't know, the Lumberer has a really serious bug where the flamethrower hitbox is broken so that within I think 4 to 5 meters of the gun in close ranges, the fire does 0 damage. It just clips straight through enemies, doesn't set the ground on fire, doesn't set the enemy on fire, and that makes the Lumberer feel pretty bad to use. It's still not useless because the anti-tank gun is still kind of useful and you can still keep your distance with the flamethrower, but I think it's unacceptable for a bug to be stuck in the game for this long for premium content. If I was not a content creator and if I didn't, make money off of Helldivers 2, I honestly would have genuinely wanted a refund for this warbond at this point, because a month with one of the flagship items having a serious bug that makes it not really worth using over any of the other mechs, that's just silly. And it seems like it's very possible the next warbond might even get released before the Lumberer is fixed, or at the very least announced. So I figured I was going to make this video to bring some attention to this issue, because I've been plucked out of the Helldivers 2 community, so maybe people are still talking about it, but I haven't seen anyone talk about it. I'm going to be using it today against the bugs because this is the mech sub faction. After all these durability changes and all of that stuff, it pretty much is still just the same. Mechs are pretty good on bugs, they're okay on squids, and horrible on bots, so all those changes were essentially just sentry and emplacement nerfs. That's a topic for another day. And I'm going to be doing mega cities because mega cities, I feel like, have more chaff and less heavies, which I enjoy, and they also have terrain that the enemies seem to respect a lot more than on other biomes. Enemies actually take stairs instead of just clipping up through terrain like they would do on an open map, which makes me enjoy these mega cities a lot more against the bugs, because one of my biggest annoyances with the bugs is when they just clip up a hill and then they just insta-kill you, because that's what the bugs do. So for the rest of the build, I'm going to be taking the Cremator. This is a really fun support weapon. I love it, and this flamethrower does work. From the one mission of testing I did, it doesn't seem like all flamethrowers are broken, just the Lumberer, and the Flame Sentry, I think, because of the same flamethrower. But the Cremator still works. It's a fantastic bug support weapon, really good ammo economy, incredible damage against small enemies and heavies as well, but it's risky, which makes it fun. It's high risk, high reward, because you do have to be decently close, and it's very easy to set yourself on fire. I like the Cremator quite a bit. I'm going to be taking the Sweeper just to keep bugs off of me in close ranges. It doesn't have the best stagger ever, but the bayonet does help with that. And this is just a solid weapon all around. Good DPS, medium pen, fun little shotgun. Probably the best. The Double Freedom does have a lot of utility, and I quite like the Hull. I know I'm in the minority on this, but I think the Hull is really, really underrated. I'm going to be taking the extra padding medium armor because I think this is just probably the best armor set in the game. Having heavy armor without having the drawbacks of heavy armor essentially is extremely helpful, because this makes it so that you don't get one shot nearly as often, since you actually have protection for your head and your limbs are a little tankier too, and those are the biggest things that lead to you getting one shot. So this helps a lot to ease those frustrations on higher difficulties, because dying when you're a solo player is extremely annoying, especially, well, it's extremely annoying for everybody now, with Hellbot's Searing Lock and all that nonsense. So avoiding those cheap one-shots is a really good proposition. I don't need any recoil reduction or explosive resistance or faster reload or peak physique, so this is my go-to when I don't need a specific passive for whatever build I'm going for. I'm going to be taking the Grenade Pistol. This is my bug hole tax, nothing else to it. And the Giga Grenade, I admit, it's pretty good. I used to be a hater. I still think Thermites would be better if they stuck 100% of the time, but since they don't stick 100% of the time, I think the Giga Grenade is about equivalent. It's a little less reliable at killing heavies when It's less reliable compared to 100% stick rate thermites, but compared to the thermites we have, it is about the same level of reliability. It is a little worse against like super heavies like automaton tanks and factory striders and bot tanks and that sort of thing, but it does have more AoE, which is nice, and it's just more fun to use. That's why I bring it, because big boom instead of throw, plink, bounce off, and rage. This is more fun. For my booster, I'm going to be taking Vitality Enhancement. More health is always good. I'm going to be taking 500 kg to help with the bug hole tax a little bit more. And this is just a decent stratagem all around, especially on mega cities where a lot of other airstrikes especially really struggle to hit where you want them to hit. The 500 kg feels more reliable. And of course, all the orbitals have the repositioning thing, which can be like, yeah, sure, Gatling Barrage is still really good, but a Gatling Barrage like 20 seconds too late is useless, you know? And I'm going to be taking the Tesla Tower because this is one of the only sentries that hasn't been completely gutted by the durability changes, because it's just so tanky. By default, it's got like triple the health of every other sentry, that it can still handle itself pretty well. It still dies a lot faster than it did before, which didn't nerf it, but everything in this category was heavily nerfed for reasons I still can't really fathom. I guess the mines were not that affected. Everything else here was pretty nerfed. The shield generator also wasn't super affected, but it was bad before. It's kind of bad before anyway. For again, topic for another day. It's not useless. It's okay in certain situations, but it still needs a lot of help. But the Tesla Tower is going to be my go-to. I don't have to worry about teammates. I only have to worry about me, and I don't mind zapping myself if I do something stupid. That'll be funny instead of annoying for other people. But anyway, that is it for the build. So, as always, please remember to take a sip of water. And if you have not yet, please do like and subscribe. It helps me out a lot. Now, I haven't played Helldivers 2 like at all, pretty much, this for an entire month, more or less. I played one match today just to do a little testing to see how the performance patch affected me, and it seems, well, I mean, my settings don't use DLSS anyway. I use a TAA, I think, and a native resolution. So I felt no changes from this at all. Really sucks though that a lot of people are apparently having a very bad time with this patch, which is unfortunate. I hope that gets fixed soon, but considering it's taken them a month to fix paid DLC, I have my doubts. So we will see. But the lumber is still, maybe that's why they haven't fixed it. The lumber is still like not completely useless, which I guess is just the bar we're aiming for. Oh, we're doing this. Okay. This is what we're doing. We're not dropping the mech. Big lumber doesn't want me to show you that it doesn't work. Please drop the mech. Are you kidding me? Okay. Oh, and we drop it up here, of course. There we go. Finally. Oh, God. This game. But, yeah, see, it's not useless. Like, I mean, sure, the Emancipator could do this. And do it better, especially if I don't waste ammo on just concrete. It could do this, and it could definitely do it better because it's got more ammo, and both weapons on it work properly instead of just one. But the Emancipator, I still think, is the best mech in the game, just because the use case for mechs is still speedrunning objectives, if you ask me. I guess we're going this way. The use case for mechs is still speedrunning objectives, right? That's what they're the best at, because you just have such a limited quantity of them, and there's so many things that can still insta-kill them even after their supposed buffs. Yeah, see what I mean? I'm on. Oh, he actually died from that. That's impressive. I guess it still does a little bit of damage, but he wasn't like on fire. Like, see? This is what I mean. There you can see it right there. Maybe he got like winged a little bit by the fire, but beaming a hunter like point blank like that for that long and it just doesn't take any damage is not serious. So you can still like kind of use this as long as you are really adamant about keeping your distance, and of course you make very good use of the anti-tank gun. But again, like, this is the same thing I just said 2 seconds ago, is that the Emancipator just does this, like, better. It just does it better. So the Lumberer has, like, no point of existing right now, just because one of its weapons is non-functional, which should not be, like, that should be pretty obvious. It's not non-functional, but heavily bugged. Apparently the breakthrough also has a bug, which makes it so that enemies can damage the arm through the shield, or maybe the shield doesn't have like a good hitbox, so the end result is that enemies can damage the very squishy arm through the shield, which does track with what I've experienced with the breakthrough. And that the shield just dies like way earlier than you think it should. Like, it'll be at 85% health and your arm will just break off, even though you haven't really been getting hit in the flank at all. And now it makes sense. So I guess both mechs do need big fixes. It's definitely worse with the Lumberer though, I think. At least to me it feels worse, because it's like extremely obvious how, like, bad the flamethrower feels compared to probably how it should feel. And again, this was something like you could determine in like 5 minutes of playtesting, so I don't know how it made it through. Well, I guess there is no playtesting. If it really seems like there isn't, because like I said, this is something like you can tell in playing for 5 minutes that something is just not working about this this flamethrower. And a lot of people thought, ooh, that's a pit. Well, I guess no more cremator, or what do you call it, Lumberer for me today, but that's fine. It's a little annoying, but I should have been paying better attention. Though, to be fair, that's kind of fucking, kind of evil. I mean, lol, haha, random accidental death. That's sense of humor, I guess, that we're still operating off of. But not, again, the end of the world. We will be more or less okay, I think. I really am sad to be missing the cremator more than the Lumberer, because that is a pretty big part of my damage output. As in, it is my main damage output. Like, the sweeper is good, but it cannot handle a bug breach by itself. Awesome. Or if it can, it is definitely not optimum or optimal for the situation. Did I not even get that with the Giga Grenade, or is that a different buckhole than the one I threw Giga Grenade at? It doesn't matter. Hate this one, that's a little elevated. That one always gets me. But we are doing okay. Well, right now I'm just kind of run diving and avoiding the breach, but surely you can forgive me. I don't have a support weapon. Or the very powerful, fully functional Lumberer, of course. That's kind of gross, so let's hope that sorts out our issues. And oh, I'm just dead. Oh, no. Extra padding saves the day. You are going to be very annoying. But see, there's still definitely like some heavy spam on these difficulties. Though I guess 2 chargers isn't really spam. That's cool though. That's cool. Yeah, I don't feel too bad about my decision to branch out to other games, by the way. Because that's also been a bug for what, like, the entirety of the game's lifespan, more or less. That chargers have been able to just do 180 turns and clip through terrain to hit the host. And that's probably never getting fixed either, right? But, oh well, let's keep moving. You're going to clear, I think, in this sort of pattern. Cremator is back, which is exactly what I wanted, because that is going to let me actually fight enemies instead of mostly running away. And of course, the Lumberer is not going to be back for a while, because the mech cooldowns are still kind of egregious, especially considering they have Still, that's still what gets me. It's like, why have long cooldowns and limited charges? Why not just have one or the other, you know? Because I feel like those two just like, they achieve the same purpose, but they feel terrible when you have both of them at the same time. So you're just kind of, okay. That was on me. I should have kick a grenade at him instead of going after the cremator. I'm definitely pretty rusty. So I'm not going to be playing well. And I'm sure some people have already said skill issue to me saying the lumber is bad because it doesn't work. But I don't know. That one was a skill issue. The charger clipping through the terrain definitely was not. And the pit, that's like 70% skill issue, I think. Because it was pretty fucking well hidden and not the easiest thing to see. Okay, I love me a 4x scope on my shotgun. God, this is what the Slugger felt like at launch, by the way. This is like what I remember the Slugger feeling like. I think is maybe a more apt way of saying that. Just like fun, effective, does a lot of damage, pretty good at range, compared to the modern Slugger, which is none of those things. I think it's genuinely one of the worst primaries. Well, no, it's up there. It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. The like 200% drag, which is insane, by the way, because every other weapon has like 30% to 60%, and randomly the Slugger has 200%. So it feels so vindictive to me and like really unfair to the Slugger. I mean, they wanted to like murder it, right? So it wouldn't be used as a marksman weapon anymore, and they just kind of forgotten to go back and make it like a real weapon again. Which there's a couple of cases of that. You could say the Breaker Incendiary is like that after the Coyote nerfs. You could probably even say like the regular Breaker is like that as well after the bug durability buffs, where I don't think it received any buffs to counteract that. Back when they buffed the light pen, quote unquote. In other words, just nerfed medium pen indirectly. Okay, let's clear this out. Finally. This is a pretty good combo, the Sweeper and the Cremator, because the Sweeper's really good at clearing up like small groups of bugs, but it struggles when there's like a large horde. And obviously the Cremator is... Okay. Obviously the Cremator is really good when there is that large horde. Are you guys gonna attack from beyond the grave? Not today, thankfully. It seems like those Sea Troopers are doing a pretty decent job of clearing that out. Please, thank you for not hitting me in the head. I know that took a lot of restraint. The Sea Troopers are doing a pretty good job of clearing out the Shriekers. And she's trying to clear me out as well, which I don't appreciate one bit. But I did see him coming this time. Our allies have better telegraphed attacks than our enemy. Well, I guess that one's pretty badly telegraphed, actually. Because the grenade doesn't, like, glow or anything. So if you don't see them throw it, or, like, see the icon on the ground, it's, like, almost impossible to actually tell that they threw a grenade. So, no, that is a really bad telegraph. Really, I beg to differ. To me, that seemed like that should have hit, but... we got there eventually. Okay, I really do not want to be stuck in the Alpha Warrior, Alpha Commander pit. Okay. I got a little scared there because I think, because my bayonet did not stagger him like I expected it to, but that was because he was already dead, I think. Okay, and see, this is too many bugs for the Sweeper to deal with. That's when we switch to the Cremator. And do a fighting retreat on the way back. The Cremator is really going to keep us sorted. This is such a good support weapon. Easily the best backpack-fed support weapon by, like, miles. Absolutely by miles. Maybe one day we'll have a fun and good maxi gun and belt-fed grenade launcher. And maybe one day Alpha Commanders won't be able to summon their minions when you've already taken their heads off. But that one I'm even less hopeful for that. things are pretty dire. The copium stocks are kind of at 0. I think for a lot of people, not just for me. But I don't know. I'll still like check out Helldivers too when content drops on like warbonds and new updates and things like that. And I'll still like pay attention in case things like do miraculously turn around. But in this case, it really would have to be like it really would be miraculous at this point. I think it's not unreasonable to have very little faith in Arrowhead at this juncture. Okay, let's us start working on you. Actually, there's a lot of enemies around. Yeah, Bile-Titans like alternate between being... Okay, I'm dead. No, I'm okay. Bile-Titans alternate between being like super buggy, which makes them really dangerous, or not a threat at all, because they are working properly, which is kind of crazy. But like, they're like not a threat right now. But last patch, they were a huge threat because their attacks like had a much wider radius than visible, so they could hit you like at crazy angles when they really shouldn't have. So I don't know. I still think the bug front pretty much needs like a total rework, or a pretty serious rework at least, if not a total rework. Because I think a lot of the bones are there. I just think they're not used in the best possible way. If that is a way that makes sense. I guess you could, okay, that's a lot of fucking... I don't want to deal with that. But I also don't want him to go after my mech. So I guess we will be dealing with that. 500 kg, please. Oh no, he was to that side. Okay. I am dilly-dallying and hesitating quite a bit, which surprisingly has not gotten killed yet, but it might. Oh yeah, and the mech gets aggroed while nobody's in it, so it's like already dead, pretty much. Oh, that's I legitimately forgot about that because that's such a fucking, that is such a stupid thing. I despise that. And now all the bugs are close enough that you can hit the ground and set them on fire. That's like the only like saving grace of the lumber right now is shooting point blank at the ground and then just walking backwards, and that like kind of works. Even if that is still not at all like a good place for this thing to be in. Okay, I think, does it have the gun depression? War Thunderbrain. Yeah, it does have the gun depression, okay. To actually shoot these things. It does not have the camera angle. Really wish we had a first-person mech view sometimes. Even just like a really basic one. Like one with like a fully realized like cockpit would be awesome, obviously. But I would take just being able to like see from like the center of the mech directly, even if there's no fancy UI or anything like that. Just for gameplay's sake, you know. I forget how to navigate the map. There we go. Are we? I think we might be for real right now. Oh, and there goes the lag. Okay. So the mech is more or less dead at this point. Let's see if we can squeeze a tiny little bit more value out of it. That would be really nice. But when the leg breaks, it is the mech becomes borderline a liability. Well, maybe not a liability. It just becomes like an emplacement that can very slowly crawl around. But this it loses out on the main power of the mech, which is run diving pretty much away from enemies and just doing objectives like this. But the enemies are stuck in that pit and they might be getting distracted by C for something. So I'm in the clear for now. Okay, so these guys, I don't think one fire application is gonna be enough to kill them. I have to spritz them a little bit more. Okay, and we have 2 eggs, and then we have escape pod, and then 1 more outpost. I think we're probably missing a stalker layer or something somewhere. That seems to be what I miss the most often on mega cities. Because stalkers are much less aggressive than they used to be. Which is kind of a shame. I know they did that like for the sake of stealth, but that's like one of the enemies I've consistently enjoyed and never thought was bullshit, which I know is not an opinion everybody shares. A lot of people hate stalkers, but it's kind of a shame to see them get gutted. And And then things like the Hive Guard is what get the buffs instead of reverting the nerfs they made. But again, I guess it is for the sake of stealth that they changed those spawners. As if stealth works on the bugs anyway, it really doesn't. Not pure stealth, at least. Like, a little bit of stealth to avoid patrols does work. But I don't think you can really pure stealth bug missions. Or, I'm sure you can if you really, really try, but I don't think it's a playstyle I think most people are willing to engage with. It's kind of how, like, it is possible to, like, do missions like stimless and deathless and all that kind of stuff, but that's just, like, doesn't mean that it's possible, that it's something that is fun or that people want to do. Or that most people want to do, I suppose. Okay. And we have 2 more eggs, and we're good. Yeah, let's just ditch this thing. I'm sick of being slow. Maybe not the best place ever to ditch it, but we're gonna be okay. I think. Probably. Let's see. We might not be okay after this guy spawns his Alpha Warriors. Oh, he didn't that time. Okay. I guess the fire confused him out of it. Which is nice, because I don't even think gas confuses bugs out of that. I really would like to make my way over to the escape pod and do that sooner rather than later. These pouncers are making it a little difficult. See what I mean? I fucking love the cremator. This thing is so fun. As long as you're, like, careful to not be flanked and you pay attention to heavies, you're good. Like, this thing really does let you handle a lot of enemies. As long as you're, again, using it properly and intelligently. Because see here, it's extremely easy to get flanked with this thing, because at least I tunnel vision on like just where the bugs are coming from, and it's kind of blinding, of course, right? But like, look at that, that's beautiful. I adore that. Thank you, Cremator, for supporting us in these trying times. Okay, and now we can do upload data, which will lead us to immediately another bug breach, because that's how upload data works, and you cannot stop bug breaches. It's a fool's errand to try and stop a bug breach. This is not the squid front. This is not the bot front. There is no game design on the bug front. There is only Oonga Boonga DPS race or lose. Okay. When I throw an eagle out that way, please actually throw the eagle out that way. And see, that's what I mean about bugs respecting terrain. I feel like on a normal map, they would have just clipped through this wall, like right here, and just instantly killed me. And I feel like they don't do that on mega cities, or at least they do it much, much, much less. And see, before the patch, that probably would have at least hit me, if not, like, outright done half my health. Probably not killed me, though, because I'm wearing, more or less, what is heavy armor. Yeah, I can do this one last outpost, and then we should be finished. Okay, let's funnel them into this alleyway and set ourselves on fire profusely, because I did not show good technique with a dash or diving backwards. And okay, visibility is now terrible, so I'm glad that we are leaving. Oh, this is a radar tower. That's good. That means we'll be able to see if I've missed any side objectives before I leave. Though I would like to clear out some of these alpha commanders. That's a couple too many for my taste. As longtime viewers of the channel may know, not a fan of alpha commanders, to put it lightly. As in, I would straight up see them removed from the game right now. I would rather they be fixed, don't get me wrong, but if it was a choice between to stay as is or just be outright removed, I would, without hesitation, pick outright removed. That's how much I dislike that enemy. And of course, Alpha Warriors along with it. Okay. I'm not sure. I think it might be top of my list to remove, actually. I don't know. I feel like top of the list probably is Worst Riders, right? That's like the obvious choice. Because even with the fixes, I still don't think they're a very fun enemy. And they make my favorite front, the bot front, like a lot worse. Okay. That's I don't know if that's the effect of elevation or that's the effect of wind, but that did a lot more damage than I would have liked. Let's resupply up here. Oh, I didn't even press the button to... I wish fire was as good, or ground fire was as reliable against enemies as it is against Helldivers, because, god damn. Oh, that scared the shit out of me, I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if the supply pod did that, or there's like a charger or bile titan somewhere around that building. It could be either or. But we have stims again, so we should be okay. That like kind of blends into the storm. That's kind of a cool effect. That'd be cool. It's never gonna happen, but it'd be kind of neat if on lightning planets or planets where there were lightning storms, like the Tesla Tower would be like a lightning rod that could it gets stronger if it gets hit by lightning. Like on the exostorms, that would be pretty cool, I think. It's such a niche feature that I don't think it's like really worth the time to implement, but still would be neat. Okay, we do have one more lumber, and that is counterclockwise. I guess I will use the lumber for extract. That seems to be the best play available to me at the moment. I'm not going to come back up here, so let's grab that last stim. After we pop one just for the stamina. Okay, so there is a ball tank that way, but... Press the button? But I'm not going that way. Thankfully for me. Okay, and we extract, and then we are good. Ooh. Are they gonna blue ball me with the mech again if I call it right over extract? I guess we will see, because I do not want to call it down here, where the bug breach is. That's gonna hopefully do a lot of good for me. Yeah, because that's the fastest way for them to reach me, I think. So please don't blue ball me again, Pelican Pilot. That was not nice the first time. It will be even less nice the second time. Let's save the 500 kg in case I see a bunch of heavies. Am I safe from you up here? I think so. May not be safe from the hunters. No, indeed I am not. But it seems even back here I am not safe from the hunters. Is that gonna hit him? I think it might. Yeah. God, they're so much more fun to use than thermites. Okay. At least on the bot front. On the bot front, I still think I like thermites better because they stick way more often on the bot front than on the bug front. I don't know if it has to do with the... I'm honestly weaker in the mech than I am with just the cremator. That's crazy. I just realized that. Because the flamethrower is like so bad. It's so bad compared to the cremator. That wasn't my intention when I brought the cremator. I just wanted to use the cremator because it's fun. But I guess it is a good showcase of how bad the mech flamethrower is. That I'm just stronger on foot. Okay. Those guys like either teleported in behind me or just spawned behind me, right? How the fuck did they get up here that fast the instant I turn my back? Because they might like feel like they're stuck down there, and then that means they can just like burrow up to you like they're the rupture strain. That happens decently frequently on, especially on mega cities, but honestly it happens everywhere. Okay, let's roast him and toast him. I think I would like the Tesla Tower that way this time. Because here I have a pretty decent angle to cover these stairs. And see, yeah, again, mega cities, if you have high ground, it feels like terrain matters. You can actually take good positions against the enemies instead of just holding shift the entire mission. Because like if you go on high ground on like a map that has mountains, right, and you think you're safe because you're on top of a hill or a mountain that seems unclimbable, like the bugs just clip up the side of the hill anyways, right? So this is like kind of the only biome where it feels like terrain really does matter, which is nice because it's just another tool we have that we can actually use in terms of skill expression. But anyway, that's the mission, right? I was hoping to do this when the lumberer was fixed, but a month later it's still not fixed. I'm not gonna wait any longer. I want to get it out of my system And I want to bring attention to the fact that the lumber is still broken. And I'm not sure it's in the known issues. I actually have not checked the known issues, but it probably is. Well, it might be. But I wanted to bring attention to it anyway. I really hope it gets fixed before the next warbond, because if it doesn't, that is kind of crazy. Because I feel like the next warbond, I mean, I think it's due to be announced this Tuesday or next Tuesday, soon. It's going to be announced soon. So, for me, that's a pretty important litmus test, is do you fix the previous warbond before releasing the next warbond? And if you don't, then I don't know. I don't know, Pilestead. I feel like you said a lot of words and not a lot of actions are being done. But that's just me. I don't really want to go back up kicking the hornet's nest or anything. This community, honestly, is not that fun to interact with a lot of the time. There's a lot of really crazy, unpleasant people. But this felt like unfinished business, the lumberer. Because there's the only thing, I didn't cover the gallant, but the gallant's fucking boring. Who cares about the gallant? It's the knight with medium, it's the liberator penetrator. Which is an insult to me, to call a weapon a liberator penetrator. It's probably not terrible, but it's just so boring. I can't motivate myself to do a video on that. But the lumberer isn't boring. The lumberer is cool. It just doesn't work. And it hasn't worked. So, again, for me, this is a pretty big litmus test. And on the off chance that Arrowhead community managers, developers, whatever, are hearing this, you said you want to do actions, not words. A pretty big action, or a pretty, I suppose, fixing the lumber would not be that big of an action because it's the bare minimum to release paid content in a functional state. But inaction here would show that you just don't give a shit or are incapable of actually like maintaining your game. One or the other. Because paid DLC, people paid real money for, not working, that's not serious. For a month, that's not serious. For like a day or a week even, okay. For a month? We'll see. Anyway, I'm gonna cut myself off from rambling. See, this is why I avoid making Helldivers 2 videos, because it's like there's one problem and then it leads into another problem and then it leads into another problem and it makes me talk about another problem and it makes me talk about another problem, and it's just problem after problem after problem after problem, and it's so... I don't want to say exhausting, that's too much, but I know that it's like... I don't like being this negative, believe it or not. I think it's not a fun way to be, or to make content for. I really don't want a negativity farm and rage bait, but it's impossible for me to play this game without like talking about the issues, right? Because they happened to me in the match. How can I not talk about them? But that's besides the point. I'm going to cut myself off. I will play Helldivers 2 again in the future, probably next warbond, probably next content drop, but we'll see. Or if I come up with like a really cool build idea out of nowhere, but I kind of doubt it. Anyway, that's it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all in the next one.